Namaskar, hello, and my name is Jivasu, and I'm the founder of the Soma Parenting courses and program. So I think this is a session about mainly question and answers, and there are many questions. So we may not able to answer all of them. It's all about children, so not about adults. So I will pick up the first question, and that is, how do I know my child has a fire personality? So, first of all, I must introduce the idea of personality because it's the core thing in human life to understand myself and as an adult. And of course, I want to understand the personality of my child. Because once I understand, then I can guide my child in the most appropriate way. And that is what happens. Most parents are not even aware that their children were born with a distinct, unique personality, unique energy, unique capability, and unique potential. Because what they do, they impose their idea of upbringing, that what a child should be, what a child should do. And quite often it goes against the nature, the innate personality of the child. And then parents are frustrated, of course, because they think, what I'm doing wrong. Okay, so only thing we are doing wrong that we are not observing our children, we are not understanding our children, that they got some unique gift from the nature. And if we follow that, these children are going to be wonderful human beings. They will express their potential, they will flourish, they will reach the peak of their achievement, both success in the world as well as they are going to experience happiness inside. So, this idea of personality in Soma parenting comes from Ayurvedic tradition. It's a very old tradition, and most of the Indians know at least 5,000 years old. And it was developed based on observation and contemplation, so it is pretty accurate. But what we did in Soma parenting, we added the science to it so that we can logically proceed with. So it's not a belief, it's not a dogma and something just we thought out. No, it has a very clear science. And that science is connected with the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. And those systems actually maintain our physiology, our biology, our body. And through the body, they affect our emotions and thoughts. So our emotions and thoughts basically are the products of our body. They are the messages of the body. Through that, we can understand what our body needs so that it will stay in a natural balance. And natural balance means not only we are living, we are having a feeling of well-being, and we have surplus energy to experience creativity and creative vitality. So you can see the importance of it. That is why in Ayurveda, this was the very core of the whole system. And so much so, even in yoga, this idea was borrowed by Patanjali because yoga became very popular. And in the second step of yoga, in eight-limbed yoga, it is written as Swadhyay, means studying myself. I can study everything in the world, but if I don't understand myself, if I don't understand my children, my wife, my relatives, then I always will be wondering what is happening, why we are in conflict, why I'm not in harmony with myself, harmony with my children. So in Ayurveda, there are three types of personality. We call it somatic personality in Soma Parenting because somatic means body. So it is primarily about the body. And as I mentioned, a body means emotions and thoughts also, because emotions and thoughts are the messages of the body uh, to 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 maintain its harmony, because through thoughts and emotions we can understand the state of the body, what is going on inside the body, which is life, because we want to live fully. So in Ayurveda, these three personalities are wind, uh, it is called Vat, and fire, which is called Pit, and the earth, which is called Kapha. And every single child has all three personalities. So there's nothing like pure fire, pure wind, pure earth. That is an impossibility. But one of the personality is the dominant one. And that is our concern. Because whole idea in the life of children, from parents' point of view, to understand the dominant personality and try to create a space and environment where this main personality could flourish. And of course, other two personalities which are there, they will help in this process. So the parents are not sculptors who are taking a raw, uncut stone, in a child and trying to hammer and chisel it to give it a shape. No. Children are like nascent plant flowers. So they have their organic potential already. So what we do around a flower and plant, we create a boundary, a very gentle boundary, a fence to protect them, so that this nascent plant or flower could grow, flower fully, may become the mighty tree, bear the fruit. So that is what parents do if they understand their children's personality, of vital importance for external harmony, for external success, and internal harmony. So if you really go into the lives of very successful people, sometimes wonder how they became so successful. You will always find that somebody paid attention to the innate somatic personality of this child. Or even if somebody didn't pay attention, this child was so strong that he or she refused to follow the word or the words of adult and said, no, I know who I am. So some children are not very young, but once they become teenage, they can understand their personality. So here the question was, this is just the background I gave you, so you understand in that context. And if you want to investigate into the science, actually, Helen Fisher, who is a cultural anthropologist in the United States, she wrote a book. And in that book, she mentioned four personalities. And those four personality are very close to Ayurvedic personality. But of course, her interpretation of personality is from the point of view of the brain, of neurochemicals and hormones. A very solid research. So let's go into the fire personality. So what do you understand by fire? What is the quality of fire? If you really look at the fire, you don't want to come too close to it. Of course, you want to enjoy it because it gives heat, it cooks, it transforms, but you don't want to be too close to it. You don't want to interfere. It will burn you. So the quality of fire is hot. It is passionate. It is intense. And I think all of us are aware from where the light comes, from the fire. There is no light is possible in our world without fire. And also whatever you put in the fire will be transformed, because it is so active, it is so energetic. So that is the fundamental quality of fire: transformation. So you put raw food on fire, what will happen? It will be cooked. You put raw iron, a piece of iron, and then it will be softened. It could be melted, and then you can give it a shape and form. So fire, the light, the transformation, the heat, the intensity, the passion. So if you really look into the ordinary world, you will see some of those people, very big political leaders, corporate executives, a Bill Gates, a Prime Minister Modi, Ambani, all kinds, Abraham Lincoln, Nelson Mandela. If you really look into their lives, who are they? They are fire. So let's start with our own child. So I have a fire child. So how I can know he or she is a fire child? And as I mentioned, if we are careful observer, and I will advise parents to become a little more sensitive, little more receptive to our children. Listen to them, feel them, watch them, observe them. When they are walking, when they are talking, when they are sleeping, when they are going to school, when they are eating. Because then you will find a certain consistent pattern in their expression, whatever they do through their body and through the mind. That is the best. Because then you can be so finely tuned with the children that you can help them in their day-to-day life, guide them gently, facilitate their growth. So that is one way, observing the best way. The second way is, because some parents, they are so entangled with their past, they are so conditioned that they have a very fixed idea about children. And so what they do, they treat a fire child, a wind child, earth child in the same way, and it doesn't work. So for them, it is very difficult to understand, because they are not sensitive, they are not observer. They are influenced by the past, which is okay. It happens, because gradually they will become sensitive. Because all parents, they want the well-being of their children. We cannot doubt that, because they love them. Problem is that love needs sensitivity. Sometimes if it is not there, then we can take a second route, and that is taking the help of a questionnaire. And in Ayurveda, and in fact, many personality diagnostic tools, people use a questionnaire. And we have a questionnaire. So if you are interested, of course, it can be introduced to you, maybe in some other future webinar. So if you are observing your child who is fire, what you will see, that they are quite well built. So they are neither thin nor chubby. They are sort of in the middle, and you can see their muscles have some prominence. Usually their posture is pretty good, so they don't slump, because they have high energy, because fire means energy, heat. So if you touch their bodies, it will be warm. If you touch the body of the earth child or a wind child, it will be cooler. Wind child has the coolest body. And when you watch your child walking, child will be walking with a springy gait. There is an energy in it. It is not slow, it's not fatigued, because they have a lot of energy generated in their system inside. And their appetite is very good, because there is a fire burning in the stomach also. So if they are hungry, They are very hungry and they will demand food. And if food is not coming, they will be irritated because they won't be patient. Fire is never a patient child. They digest very well. But sometimes they may eat wrong food. And how it will manifest wrong food? They may have heartburn. They may complain. They are not feeling well. There may be nausea, sometimes even diarrhea. So those are the things that food is not right for them. Also, their sleep is very good. So once they fall asleep, they sleep very well. And usually they don't have scary dreams. So by observing physically a child being agile, being energetic, moving with a spring gait, interested in food, digesting food very well, and if that child engages anything, there is a certain intensity, there is a certain passion, because they want something to happen. Because these children, psychologically, emotionally, very ambitious, because they have so much energy, they have surplus energy. These are the children who want to achieve. As I said, they are ambitious, they are competitive. And if somebody wants to be ambitious and competitive, how they do it? They become very methodical. So these children, they understand logic very well. So certain parents who give orders, they won't accept. So if you want to deal with this kind of children, better be logical, a gentle persuasion, because their mind is logical, their brain is logical in comparison of other two. And why? As I mentioned, they want to reach a certain goal. They love projects in which they are challenged. If the challenge is not there, they will be thoroughly bored, they will slump, they will feel tired, they will feel irritated. So a child who is excited, who is passionate, who wants to control, because if I'm competitive, if I'm ambitious, I want to control the situations. So a child who wants to control everything in the life, of course that is impossible, because there have to be boundary. You cannot control everything. But these children want to control what they eat, how they eat, with whom they play, how much homework they want to do, what kind of interaction they want. They want to assert control about everything. And they will say, I can do it, I will do it. So some parents may feel offended, but that's okay, because that is their nature. Because the problem is, if we are very heavy-handed with these children, if we obstruct their energy, what do you think will happen? Their fire energy will be obstructed. It will remain inside their body and mind. It will start burning themselves. They will become angry. They will become violent. That is what fire does. You try to trap it, it will do something which is not right. So the very important thing is that allow a controlled control, because there have to be boundary. Because if fire is burning without any boundary, it will be very dangerous. But that guidance has to be gentle persuasion, reason, and logic. And also parents must try to put these children in situations where they have control, their ambitions are expressed, they are competitive, they have deadlines, they get rewards, because they feel so excited about the reward, because they want to show. And why not? What is the problem in show off, adult show off all the time. Let children express that. And as I mentioned, if these fire children, they are given the right direction, what will happen to them? They become reformers. They become revolutionary. They become path breakers. They become trailblazers. They become leaders. They become corporate executive. Any new pioneer work which is done in the world in the form of action come from fire children. So physically, emotionally, and their mind have to be recognized, to be affirmed, and put on path of expression. Let them control their own destiny. And our means parents and caretakers, they just are around them, not trapping them, not stifling them, because if we do that, we will do tremendous damage. So what parents do for these children, knowing that fire personality is the dominant one, they take the component of other personalities, which is wind and earth, to help them. Now, what is the quality of wind? Creative. So a fire person is taking action, and if we help the child to bring the wind, it becomes creative action, because fundamental nature of the wind is creativity. And then we can help the child to bring the element of earth. What is earth? Solidity, calmness. And that will give a very good anchor to the fire. So fire will burn consistently without raging for a long time, means highest achievement. So that is the way understand a fire child. To guide with love. To expect this child will be irritated, this child will be angry. That is the part of it. It is not something wrong with the child. There's something wrong in the environment. If child is irritated and angry, means we are obstructing the child. So I will summarize. Fire child means you have a medium built child, energetic, good posture, good muscles, good sleep, good digestion, lot of energy, ready for action. Emotionally and cognitively, this child is competitive, very able child, ambitious, wants to achieve, wants to control, wants to find its own destiny, because this is the gift of nature. So we have to create an environment so there is no major obstacle. Let them control their food. Let them choose their clothes. Let them control their elimination. Let them control their readings. Let them be associated with such children where they enjoy company, where they are expressing their fire more. Let those adults be around who won't stifle them. Because fire means transformation. Fire means light. Light means vision. Yes, indeed, these children are born visionary. So by observing physically, emotionally, and mentally, we can understand the children and we facilitate their development. If we are poor observer, in the beginning, we can take the help of a questionnaire. So if you have a fire child, it's wonderful, because you have a pioneer, you have a visionary, you have ambitious, you have a child who has innate quality of leadership. So celebrate it. So with that, I will request you to join next week our YouTube webinar, and please bring your questions. And of course, you can go to our website, which is jivasu.org, so you can get more information. And in future, we are going to bring more program about Soma parenting, because what we want as parents to raise a happy, healthy, body-wise child. And this child will not only be happy and healthy body-wise, but will become a change maker, the architect of a new and better world. So we could all live in harmony with ourselves and with others. Thank you very much. Namaste and goodbye.